Assalamu alaikum, guys. Big up and hola everyone to COE channel. We've just come from the Saudi embassy, our team Bayat Al Gadir. Essentially what was going on at the Saudi embassy was a protest against the shrines which have been demolished by the Saudi government. The Saudi government has demolished the shrines of the Prophet's companions, of the Prophet's family. So the Prophet's family had shrines in Saudi Arabia, in a place called Jannat al-Baqi. These shrines were desecrated by the Saudi government. It's a place which we had hundreds and hundreds of years of heritage, and they were desecrated and destroyed. As Muslims, these shrines are some of the most historical and important heritage trademarks of our religion. And we don't believe anyone has a right to touch them. In the same way a Christian shrine has no reason to be touched, or a Jewish shrine has no reason to be touched. Our own Prophet's shrines and our Prophet's companions' shrines have no reason to be touched. So what they've done recently is Saudi Arabia for the past hundreds of years, they've been demolishing these shrines. And we've seen something recently that's happening with ISIS, who are doing exactly the same thing, and demolishing some of the Prophet's shrines of the Judeo-Christian tradition.
As a non-Muslim,
yeah.
It seems like it's something that you wouldn't want to do. You're going to preserve
your heritage. Yeah, as a non-Muslim, as a human perspective, the thing you would want to do is keep your heritage.
I'm on the outside looking in, so give me some understanding as to why they're doing it.
Yeah, so the Saudi government is traditionally, religion comes from the Salafi Wahhabi movement. And within their sectarian religion, it's not permissible to have shrines above the prophets. It's one of their theological standpoints. The earlier scholars which say this are scholars like Muhammad and Abdul Wahhab. These are the guys that introduced this. And Muhammad Abdul Wahhab is a maybe 14th, 13th century scholar. He's very recent. 100, 200 years back, you're seeing the scholar coming, and he's saying these shrines are not permissible. Before him, who said this? Maybe Ibn Taymiyyah, to my knowledge. Ibn Taymiyyah, sorry?
What do they base it upon?
So we regard this as an innovation. We say this had no basis in Islam. To say desecration of our shrines is something which is permissible, which is what they say. This is something which we're claiming they are innovators of. Because this is something which had for hundreds of years. How is it from the time of the Prophet to 1200 years later, the shrines have been there, and now somehow they're arguing it's become an innovation, and that we're not allowed to have these shrines. So we're arguing as Shia Muslims that we've had these shrines for hundreds of years, thousands of years. How are you to come in the 14th or 13th century? They would desecrate, they would build something on top of them. And then what happened in centuries after them, they would build something on top of them. Until what you had today was a beautiful looking shrine on top. And what they've done today is essentially desecrated their heritage. From the Muhammad... Sorry?
They done one today?
No, they didn't do it today. But we've been protesting year in, year out. So they're doing it for the past hundreds of years. In a place called Jannat al-Baqi in Saudi Arabia. This is what they've been doing. And it's not known to a lot of the media, but it's actually there. So you see a lot of shrines have been preserved within Shia territorial areas within Iraq and Iran. So we've kept that heritage for ourselves. Likewise, Orthodox Sunnis also have kept that heritage for themselves. The only people who have a problem with this kind of heritage are Salafi Wahhabis. Feel me? And it's come to the point where you see a similar group doing exactly the same thing. Who? ISIS. Janaat al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda. What are they doing?
You went to the Saudi Arabian embassy. What do you hope to achieve by doing that?
What we hope to achieve by doing that, I don't know how many brothers are listening to this, but how many of you this was going on? Did you know? So what is the first standpoint, going year in, year out to that same place, is to create a notification to the wider public to know that this is happening. And to know that people who are doing it from extremist sects in Islam, when they're doing it, who are they getting it from? Who are they getting the theology from? And who are they ascertaining from their people of authority to do this? So it's to let the wider public know to what's going on, and on a more general basis, it's to kind of stop it from going on for future places. So that other sects, when they come out and do this, you know who they're getting it from, and you know who they're getting the theology from. Cool? Sounds good? You gave a good understanding, yeah? Good, man. Cool.
Come take over everything from your Benjamin.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
You want to get married to her?
No,
to him?
No, come on, that's your opinion.
Make it simple.
Brother, let me do it. Let me do it.
Stop.
Allow me to speak, Mohammed. Allow you to
Right,
speak.
would you allow me to speak?
Without any doubt. So my advice to you, Mohammed.
5 minutes, yeah? We're about to cut.